Hi everyone, Nick Kretikos of Nick's Seasonal Decor, and today you're watching me on Bowdabra, and we have a whole assortment of ribbons on my table today, and we're going to be designing for fall. So to start off with, we have our large Bowdabra, and as you guys come in, let me know where you're watching from, and if you don't mind giving this video a like and a share, just, right off the bat, I greatly appreciate it. So we're going to be using our large Bowdabra, and we're also going to be using our Bowdabra wire. So this comes on a 100-yard spool, and I broke into this roll about 2-3 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago at this point, and I didn't even put a dent after all the bows we've made. So this is my second roll in over a year, and I probably will make a lot more bows than most people would do, but these definitely last a long time. So also Bowdabra is giving away a free roll of scrunchy ribbon, and the color selection is red, silver, and gold. So comment down below that you'd like to win, and you just might be the lucky winner that's going to be drawn in the last 5 minutes. So definitely stick around. So I just took my wire, and notice what I'm doing is I'm placing it into the two little slits on the top of our Bowdabra. What I like to do from this point on, and I'm going to take today's video nice and slow, that way beginners are able to comprehend what I'm doing. So I'm just taking the wires and tucking them underneath. The only reason I do that is simply and solely because it kind of gets them out of the way. So again, nice and slow today, that way everybody can understand exactly what we're doing. So to start off with, we have this very pretty 2.5-inch plaid. And this has a little bit of shimmer in it, and truth be told, I'm not the biggest fan of glitter or shimmer for fall. I love my fall designs to be a lot more subdued, but I know the majority of people really like having a little bit of shimmer in their fall wreath. So this is just a 2.5-inch wired ribbon, and to start off with, we're going to cut some tails. So tails are totally dependent on how long you want your bow to be. I can't really give you a precise measurement. These ones are going to be about 28 inches, so a total of about 14 inches on either side. But, if you want to have tails go all the way down your wreath or your lantern or your lamppost outside, you're just going to have to cut accordingly. But our first step is what, Dad?
Dovetail.
Dovetail, that's right. And my dad's behind the camera today, so be sure to say hi to my dad. It's really nice having my family support my business and help out any way they can. So then I'm just going to take my tails, place them into our Bowdabra like that. So I often add them afterwards, but it does make it a little bit easier, especially if you're just starting out, to add them first. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start creating our loop. So this ribbon's not really going to show as much as a single-sided ribbon. So for example, let me find one. I know I have some here. So right here we have a single-sided ribbon and also a good way to store your ribbons is just to use corsage pins. So I have hundreds of these from when I used to do corsages and boutonnieres for proms. And we've even done some, anniversary party corsages as well. But this is a single-sided ribbon. The print is only on one side. So I'm going to show you guys this a little bit later on. But for something like this, you have to be a little bit more careful with your placement of ribbon, or else you'll lose the printed side. Hi, Barbara. Lots of people are saying hi, Dad.
I know. Hi, everyone.
So take my ribbon, and notice what I have right here is a little bit of an overhang. Just a slight overhang. So I'm unsure if Bowdabra was able to restock on Amazon, but they do have them at Michael's and at Hobby Lobby. Those are the two stores that carry them, not Joann's like we said last week. So yep. Joann's doesn't have them, but your best bet is finding them at Hobby Lobby and Michael's. So right here what I'm doing is I'm just taking my ribbon and creating loops. So first and foremost, the most important thing is what you want to achieve in the end. So you really have to have a kind of an idea as to what you want your bow to look like in the end. So this bow is going to have a lot of loops, and it's going to be nice and full. But if you don't want a super full bow, what you can do is use less loops. So hands up if you guys have seen me use less loops in my bows. That way I can come back in and incorporate some greenery and some flowers to make the bow look a little bit more incorporated. I like my bows to not stand out nearly as much in every design.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in, you guys. So for a full bow, I recommend between 4 and 6 loops on either side. Any more than that, your bow will be really, really thick, and it's just not necessary, in my opinion, to have 10, 12 loops on one side. And these loops are about 4.5, 5 inches in width, and this is typically the size that I make my bows. But again, Bowdabra is giving away a free roll of scrunchy ribbon, so comment down below that you'd like to win. Wow, almost 500 people watching. Thanks, you guys. Okay, so that's going to be our final loop. So our final loop I just took out, and I'm going to cut the ribbon. So again, notice that there's a slight overhang. We have about 1/2 inch of an overhang, and that is a critical step. If you don't have an overhang, you pose the risk of losing your bow because, you know, if somebody tugs this loop too much, it can slide out if it's perfectly cut where the tie mark is. So by having a little extra piece, it prevents it from slipping out. And the same goes with zip ties, you guys. If you use zip ties in your bows or your designs, make sure to leave a little bit of leverage. In case the zip tie gives out, you still want a little bit extra. So then I just took my wire and I pulled it from one side to another. Doesn't matter which side you choose. I kind of tighten it. The Bowdabra also has a wand. This is not a wand. This is a pair of scissors. But it just slips in like that and compresses your loops. So that's just another little handy thing you can use. I personally don't use it. I just like to compress my ribbons by hand. Then we can pull out our bow. Take the wires from one side to the back. Give it another little tug, and then create a knot. So I recommend between 2 and 3 knots to keep your bow in place.
Hi, Diane. Yes, my name is Steve.
Yep, Steve.
Everybody wants to win.
Everybody wants to win. Awesome. So now, most important step with every bow is what, Dad?
Fluff.
Fluff. You just looked at me very nervously. Fluff. Fluffing your bow brings it to life. You can be dealing with pretty crummy ribbon, and if you give it a good fluff, if the wires aren't overly thick and sturdy, if you really meticulously pull the loops apart and get them to your liking, you will have a beautiful bow. So it's not necessarily the ribbon quality. Working with higher quality ribbon definitely helps, obviously, and if you are a beginner, it definitely helps. But even if you don't have high quality ribbon, you still can create a beautiful bow. Then we can pull our tails down. What do you guys think? Let me check first, see if I like it. That's the most important thing, right?
Yep.
What do you guys think of that? Isn't that pretty? We have the nice little tails on either side. And like I said, you can cut those tails 3-4 yards in length if you wanted to. You know, it really depends on how big or how small you want your bow to be. So just customize it to your liking and to what you need it for whatever project you're making. So there's our first bow. Let's create another one. How's that sound?
Sandy said she'd like to see you make a mailbox swag.
A mailbox swag. We've done several of those on Nick's Seasonal Decor. Those are a little bit more, I don't want to say advanced, a little bit more complicated.
Ann Phillips says, how big do you recommend for the top of a Christmas tree, Nick?
Depends on how big the tree is. It depends if it's a, you know, super full, thick Christmas tree. You know, there's so many variables that can go into anything. So nothing is concrete. No design tips are concrete either. So if somebody tells you, you know, a certain technique is the best, it's just through trial and error. And even then, you know, certain things won't work for you. So Christmas trees, if it's a pencil tree, you're not going to want to have a 3-foot bow on top of that. So you're just going to have to adjust accordingly. And we'll be doing some Christmas bows and Christmas tree toppers on Bowdabra later on. But we did some last year too, if you want to check out those videos.
Marguerite Poole said, nice shirt, Nick.
Thank you, Johnny Cash, right? You can get one at Walmart, $5.97. But now we just created, look at how cool that ribbon is. This is a candy cane.
It's cute.
Candy corn.
Candy corn, yeah.
Candy corn ribbon. And I'm just going to take it with one loop and 2 tails on either side and begin working it into our Bowdabra. So this just creates a pretty little Halloween bow. Something not traditional. The last bow we just made was traditional. And it's not necessary to do that for every design. So I cut the ribbon before adding it, but another option you have is to place your ribbon inside your Bowdabra, twist it, create a loop, and then place it on the other side. So it achieves the same effect. Doesn't make a difference if you do it in the Bowdabra or off the Bowdabra, because the Bowdabra is going to hold your ribbon, which is ultimately the biggest thing that you need.
Thank you, Diane. I appreciate it. Tiffany Zabel says, how can you do 2 ribbons in one bow, Nick?
Well, we'll show that in just a minute, so stick around. We're going to use 2 fall ribbons. So my favorite thing to decorate for fall is just fall in general. I mean, I love Halloween too. We're a big horror family. We love our scary movies. But as a whole thing, I really love the look of fall. So we don't do too much for Halloween. So I figured I'd sneak one in here. So again, cut our tails off. Wow, over 575 people. Thank you guys for joining tonight.
That really is a cute pattern, Nick. The candy corn.
Isn't it?
It's cute.
So we've used other candy corn prints, but I decided to purchase this one last year just because it's beige, and you guys know I love that burlap color. So we have 2 loops on one side, 2 on the other. Let's just do one more to finish off our bow. So let's create our final loop and tail. So if you have any questions along the way, that's what I'm here for, you guys. So feel free to ask away, and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. So any questions? So you could even have your pieces cut. That way you kind of can gauge how big to make it. Place it into your Bowdabra, and then finish it off in this. So there's a million different ways to get a million different outcomes. So you're just going to have to figure out what works best for you. So then we're going to take our wire, it doesn't matter which side, and then I'm going to take it, pull it through the little opening on the top.
Fix that, Nick. It just switched.
Oh,
Sorry, guys.
sorry about that. One sec. There we go.
Sorry, guys. The camera just switched.
So then I'm going to take the wire, pull it through. I'm seeing the delay on my phone now. That's funny. Alex did that before.
I was trying to read the comments and it just clicked over.
Yeah, it sometimes does that. But I see over 600 people now. So thank you guys so much for watching and sharing and liking this video. The whole point of these videos is for me to be able to teach you guys. You know, the biggest joy I get out of my business is being able to teach everyone how to do designs. Because I think everybody should be able to create a beautiful bow. So now we have our bow constructed. And now what we can do, which I'll just do to a few of them so I don't keep you guys too long, but we can take our ribbon tails, fold them in half, and cut from the middle out towards the wired edge. And that creates a beautiful dovetail. So it just finishes the ends, and I guess we can just do all of them just so I can give you guys the visual of how this bow turns out. This is one of my favorite bows to create, and hands up if you guys have seen me do this bow before. I know I've done it a lot of times, and it's one of my favorites to actually use in my designs. Okay, so we have 2 tails left. Just bear with me, but it is a very important step. I'd second this to fluffing, finishing your tails. Whether it's dovetailing or cutting at an angle, the choice is up to you. Just make sure that you do one or the other. You don't want a blunt edge for your ribbon.
Maria Rose says, does the twist go on one side or do you try to get it in the middle of the Bowdabra?
I don't focus on it. I usually just twist it, I'd like to say as close as possible, but I don't put much thought into it. As long as it's twisted, then you're good to go. So then just pull your tails apart, pull your loops, adjust, 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 and fluff. Okay. What do you think of that? Could use a little bit more adjusting, but hands up if you guys love that bow.
I love it. I love the
Isn't
candy
that a pretty
corn.
ribbon?
Yep.
So somebody that purchases a wreath from me will be getting this bow. Because I think it's just beautiful. So now what we're going to do is somebody requested a double ribbon bow, right?
Yep.
So let's do a double ribbon bow. So I'm thinking these two will look nice together. I'm thinking not. So let's see what else we got. Let's do these two right here.
Yeah, that goes.
That's a pretty
nice.
combo. Let's do those two. So how was your day, everyone? Let us know what you guys did in the comments section. And also let us know where you're watching from. I get so much amusement knowing that I'm sitting here in my workshop, which happens to be my basement, and we can have people watching from all around the world. It just blows my mind, the power of social media and technology. And another tip, too, is I always make sure to cut an excess amount of my string. That way, if I decide to work it, you know, somewhere else or somewhere that, you know, you need a decent amount, we don't have to cut any extra. So for this bow, let's do a 2-ribbon bow, but not a funky bow. So I'm going to cut our tails to start off with. Then we're going to take our tails and dovetail. Hi, Ann from Greenville, South Carolina.
Tennessee, Arkansas, Kansas, Hawaii, Marco Island, Florida.
Hawaii. If I was in Hawaii right now, I would not be watching me make a bow. I would be enjoying the beach. I've always wanted to go to Hawaii. I feel like it would be so much fun. So then we have our tails inside. These are about 20 inches on either side, so about a 40-inch piece of ribbon. And to start off with, I'm going to place our ribbon inside. And we're going to do only 3 loops on either side. Our first loop. And I like to twist my Bowdabra as I work it in. You can move your Bowdabra instead of, you can move your hands instead of the Bowdabra, so you don't have to twist it. But I think it makes it a little bit easier. But again, everybody's going to have to figure out their best way to use the Bowdabra. And not even just the Bowdabra, any tool in general. We all use them differently. I get a lot of comments about the way I hold my scissors. I just grab my scissors and use them whichever way. I am left-handed, and this, I guess works too, but I just grabbed them.
Nick, we have Fort Worth, Texas in the house. What song did we listen to when we were in Fort Worth?
George Strait, but what's that song called?
Does Fort Worth ever cross your mind?
Yeah, we had a lot of fun in Fort Worth. We went to the stockyards.
Yeah, we had a great time.
All right, our last piece. So now what I'm going to do, almost 700 people, you guys. Thanks for all the shares and hearts. And don't forget, Bowdabra is giving away a free roll of scrunchy ribbon today. So comment down below that you'd like to win. And just because I'd love to see what color you guys like to, comment down below if you'd rather have red, silver, or gold. So we have our 3 loops on either side. Now we'll come back in with this one. And we're going to lay our ribbon in. And it's all about layering with this particular bow. So just flatten your loops to kind of get them out of your way. And now for these 3 loops that we're going to place, or 4 loops, what we're going to do is come about an inch shorter, at least an inch shorter, maybe an inch and a half shorter, and do 2 loops of this on either side.
South Lake Tahoe, California. I'm sorry, guys. Virginia Beach, Oklahoma, Michigan. We've got everybody here tonight.
Welcome. Thank you guys for tuning in. So we did 2 loops on either side now. And now our final, what I like to call a button loop. So that just finishes off the middle. And this loop's going to be even shorter than the last one we just cut. We're going to make this one about an inch. That's it. Then, like I said, you can use your wand or you can just compress it with your hand. Take your wires from one side to the other, just pulling it through the little slit in the top. And since we folded our wire in half, we have a little loop. Pull it through the loop. I love all 3 colors. Me too, Jen. But I think silver, I don't know, something about silver this year, you guys. I know I've been saying for years that red is my favorite color, and it certainly is, but silver this year is just calling my name for Christmas time.
We've got a mix so far. A lot of people want the silver, a lot want the red.
Okay. So now create a knot, like I said before. And I like to do 3 knots. I just think it gives me the added security that I like to have with my bows. So of course we ship our bows and designs all around the country, and I want to make sure everything I do is secure. So if you're doing this for your own home and you want to take things apart, you don't necessarily have to use hot glue or secure things permanently. If it falls and breaks, that's on you. But with my designs, if it falls and it breaks since I sell, it's on me. So I like to minimize that as much as possible, and that's never happened to me before. So just make sure that you're securing everything really nicely. So I'm just pulling apart our loops.
Those 2 colors go together nicely.
I think so too. I like these colors. Pull apart the 2 loops on the sides. It's all about fluffing. And we can fluff for days and days for every design. So you're just going to have to figure out when to call it quits. So in these videos, I like to make them real quick to teach you guys as many techniques as possible. And today we're taking our time. Definitely taking our time. I usually work a little bit faster. But what do you think of that? What do I think of that? So with a little more fluffing, I think it's a beautiful bow and a beautiful technique. So thumbs up if you guys like that.
Love the colors.
Isn't that a pretty bow? Over 700 people. Thank you, guys. I always have a problem with the twist of the ribbon. It turns out being a big blob. I need your help, Nick. So, Christy, with the twist of the ribbon, it turns out I'm being a big blob. So, when you twist, make sure you're doing a full twist and you're really compressing it. If not, your ribbons will become very stacked and, create a too much of a poofy look. So, I'm going to show you guys that now. So, I'm going to cut another length of wire. And we'll do another traditional bow using 1.5 inch ribbon this time. So tuck my wires underneath. And then we can just figure out which ribbon we want. Let's do a buffalo plaid. What do you guys think of this ribbon? I love that ribbon. And I think it works great for fall too. Or Halloween. So I'm just going to drop it to the ground. And let's just do one without tails this time. So I'm going to take our ribbon, place it into our Bowdabra, right? And then I twist my Bowdabra like I said, but of course if you just wanted to do it like that, you can. But I like to twist it to make it as easy on my hands as possible. Place your ribbon in, and here's where I twist, right here. So I just twist and then place the twist in. So I guess it's just subconscious at this point. So I don't twist it and place it like onto the side, but either way it kind of corrects itself. So if you place it a little bit off, when you bring it in, you can just correct it and then compress it. So if you have a big blob like Christy was talking about, just make sure that you're really twisting it and then firmly placing it into your Bowdabra. So it's all about twisting. Love buffalo plaid. Me too. Me too. So for those of you that might be new, I am Nick Kretikos of Nick's Seasonal Decor. And this is Bowdabra, and we're working on Bowdabra, the large Bowdabra today. So I don't know if all of you guys are obsessed with ribbons, so let us know down below if you love all the different styles of ribbons there are. Once you kind of get addicted, it's kind of hard to, stop because there's so many different patterns and sizes and textures and colors and prints.
That's probably my favorite decorating thing for all this, like in this field, Nick, probably the ribbon.
Yeah, no, you love ribbons.
I love ribbon.
But the funny thing is we all have different styles, so we're all so different. My dad's style is a little bit more modern and a little bit more, I don't know what you'd say, a little bit more decorative than mine. Simplicity is me and Yaya's thing. We love simplicity. Sometimes my dad holds up a ribbon, and even though I love all ribbons equally, well, not equally, some of the ribbons he shows me over the years, I just cannot imagine using. But then there's been some ribbons that he surprised me with, and they sit in my shop for a year or two, and since we're constantly evolving and changing, I end up using them. So thank you for that, Dad. I have a ribbon addiction, yes. I completely agree with you, Robin. And for those of you that don't, and you're going to develop one after this, I would like to apologize in advance, and I'm sorry, because it's an addiction. So let's do our final loop. So again, Christy, if your bows turn out to be a big blob, this is another important step, is just making sure it's compressed. That way your ribbon's not too poofy. This is a rather thin ribbon, but for something like this, which is a canvas, it's very, very thick. So you do want to apply some pressure or else it'll just become too clunky. Take your tails, take your wire to one side, pull it through, like that. Then we're going to take our wire, wrap it around, and pull really, really tight. I'll do one more knot for security. Better be safe than sorry. And that's something my dad's taught me. Right, Dad?
Yep. Karen Daly says, Dad, you could send some my way. I'm adoptable. We love you guys. We really do.
But today we're giving, Bowdabra's giving a free roll. So if you haven't started your addiction yet, maybe today you'll be the lucky winner.
The winner is Sarah Sally Sabater. Congratulations, Sarah.
Congratulations. Send Bowdabra a message and they'll be in contact with you and, let them know what color you would like. So congratulations. That's awesome. Who doesn't love a free roll of ribbon? What do you guys think of that? Isn't that pretty? And I think this would look great. So let's envision this as a present. This would be the best present for me, but for 90% of the people, I don't think they'd want a huge roll of chevron ribbon. But let's say we wrap this present, and I think, making sure a present's beautiful, which we did last year on Bowdabra as well. We decorated a present. I think by having a bow and maybe some greenery or ornaments really finishes it off and makes it look beautiful under a tree. So I know we focused on fall today, but I couldn't help but you could do this as a fall bow anyway, but for a Christmas present in the future, tell me you wouldn't like to receive a gift with a big, beautiful bow like that on it. So easy and so simple. So fun. Let's do another bow. How are we doing on time? 7:24. So thumbs up if you guys want to see one more bow. But before we do that, I'm going to show you guys a quick way to kind of decorate something. So here we have a very sturdy, thick branch that came with pumpkins and greenery and kind of gnarly stems. So you can pick these up very simply, and to spruce it up, all we can do is take one of our bows that we've already made and wrap it and wire it on. So I'm just taking the wire from behind, and again, you're going to want to make sure you knot it several times to keep it from sliding out and kind of being topsy-turvy. Congratulations, Sarah. That's right, Hoyt. That's my Christmas colors. So I'm thinking about doing a Christmas tree in buffalo plaid this year. What do you guys think of that? Would you like to see a Christmas tree decorated in buffalo plaid? I know one of our trees is going to be a gunmetal gray, which I don't think you've heard about that yet, Dad.
No, this is new to me.
The tree that we did, the rose gold tree, and comment down below if you guys remember that. But we're going to be doing that tree in a gunmetal gray and metal color with touches of white and silver. So a very simple way to decorate a swag. You could have more tails, you can do a smaller bow, different ribbon, whatever you want, but just picking up one of these inexpensive sprays with everything already on it. If you have a closet door or any door in your house, this is perfect for it because it's not taking up too much space. It's not going to look tacky having a huge wreath on it. I mean, you could have a wreath on every single door if you want, but something a little bit smaller and inconspicuous in a sense, I think would look great on every door. You could even have this in your kitchen.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you could even have that in your kitchen. Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Idea, Dad?
Yeah.
Should I be doing this? I have a lot more of these swags. Let me know if I should put one of these on every one.
I wouldn't mind in the kitchen.
But we're all snackers, so that cabinet door would be swung open 100 times a day. So again, one more quick bow. Let's do that. And then we'll sign off. So let's just use this orange ribbon again.
What's the wire you're using, Nick?
This is Bowdabra wire.
Bowdabra wire. There it is, folks.
Place our wire in our Bowdabra, and then let's just do a very small, simple bow. So we'll cut our tails. Place our small tail in.
Lynn Allen says, "Hi, Nick. I am new to your page. Love your bows and wreaths."
Thank you, Lynn. So then we're going to create one loop. And maybe we'll do a contest one day too, you guys. So comment down below if you'd like to see a contest of how quickly I can make however many bows in a minute, 5 minutes, whatever. I think that'd be kind of fun. What do you think, Dad?
It would be kind of fun. Reminds me of that time you guys had that contest in Texas.
At Wreath Makers Live, and then Damon Oates of Deco Exchange took the scissors and handed me pliers. But I still created one great bow. But
blindfolded
too. So for our little button loop, I'm going to cut it a little bit short. We don't need the full length for that. Compress, take our wire from one side to the other. And this is the perfect bow, in my opinion, for kind of a wine bottle. And who wouldn't love to receive a wine bottle full of wine and a pretty bow that you can take off and use in your decorations? Then we can just knot it off. We made a lot of bows today, even though we took our time. Pull our tails down. Separate our loops, 2 loops on either side. And our little button loop. What do you think of that? What do I think of that?
Quick, convenient, perfect for like a bottle or something. Yeah,
Dad, exactly. So we got 2 minutes left, so let's do a quick little recap. We created this little, I'd say this is another form of a traditional bow. This is what you see pre-made in red velvet at stores like CVS, Walmart for like 99 cents, but they're really crappy. So this is definitely an updated, prettier version of it. Then we also created a tailless bow right here using a 1.5-inch buffalo plaid with about 6 loops on either side, which I said would look great on a present, placed dead smack in the middle like that, with maybe some ornaments or greenery surrounding it. We also created a small little swag, a pre-made swag with some pretty ribbon on top. We created this bow using a 2.5-inch ribbon and about 4 or 5 loops on either side. So comment down below which one's your favorite from the night. We created this Halloween version, which is a little less bright and cheerful like you typically would see for, well, not cheerful, Halloween's not a cheerful holiday, but a little less bold.
That's just adorable.
With the burlap candy corn, almost a candy cane, you guys. Yeah. This is probably my favorite. And then lastly, the bow that fell on the floor is this 2-ribbon bow using a 2.5-inch canvas ribbon followed by a 1.5-inch what kind of print is that again? Not quadrifoil. I don't know what kind of print that is. I forget. Does it say? It doesn't say. I forget what this print is. So if you guys know that print, comment it down below. I forget. Yeah, so comment which one's your favorite. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching today's tutorial. We created a whole lot of bows, so hopefully I explained every step along the way, which I think I did. So again, thank you for your time and for watching this, and hopefully I've inspired you to make a bow. And again, thanks to Bowdabra for having me as a guest today. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.